If your small dog pretends not to hear you when you say sit, come, or stop chewing on my shoes, you're not alone. Small dogs are notorious for command avoidance syndrome, where they seem to act deaf when it's convenient. But is this selective hearing a real problem, or are we the problem? Let's break down why small dogs tune you out, how our behavior plays a role, and what you can do to fix it before your dog completely takes over the household. Let's get to the root of it. Small dogs aren't ignoring you because they're stubborn. A 2019 study in Applied Animal Behaviour Science found that small dogs are just as capable of learning commands as larger breeds, but they're less likely to follow through. Why? Because their owners often let them get away with it. When your 10-pound Chihuahua ignores a sit command, it feels harmless. But when a 100-pound Rottweiler does the same, it's a problem. Here's the controversial part. Small dog owners are often the reason for command avoidance syndrome. According to a 2020 study from the University of Helsinki, owners of small dogs are 40% less likely to enforce consistent training than owners of large breeds. Small dogs tune you out because they've learned there are no real consequences for ignoring you. When you laugh off their bad behavior, you're essentially teaching them that commands are optional. But let's cut the dogs some slack. Small breeds often feel more vulnerable, and that can lead to anxiety-driven defiance. If your dog seems to ignore you, they might actually be stressed or overwhelmed by their environment. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Veterinary Science showed that small dogs are more likely to display avoidance behaviors in high-stress situations, especially if their owners aren't providing clear guidance. So, how do we fix it? First, let's talk about training. Stop treating your small dog like they're too fragile for real discipline. Use clear, consistent commands and reinforce them with positive rewards. Treats and praise go a long way, but only if you're consistent. If you tell your dog to sit and they don't, follow through until they do. No exceptions. Second, make sure your dog is actually listening. Small dogs are often overstimulated by their environment, which can make them check out. Practice commands in a quiet space with minimal distractions before moving to more challenging environments. Lastly, don't let size dictate expectations. If you wouldn't let a larger dog ignore a command, don't let your small dog do it either. They're capable of learning, but only if you hold them to the same standard. Now, I want to hear from you. Does your small dog ignore you, or have you mastered the art of getting them to listen? Drop your best training tips or most frustrating moments in the comments. I'm sure we can all relate to the struggle of being tuned out by a four-legged diva. Remember this: command avoidance syndrome isn't about your dog being stubborn. It's about what we allow. Want to learn the best techniques to build focus and obedience in small dogs? Stick around for the next video, where we'll dive into step-by-step strategies to help you better understand your dog's behavior.